Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're on the edge with Sanji.
Justin Rock right here.
Yeah, Majestic Rock. Can I hear you? Say it again.
Justin Rock right here.
Oh, I hear you loud and clear, loud and clear. Just doing a little sound check. Welcome everybody to On the Edge. T's on her way. Hopefully she'll make it. Sometimes they lock the doors on us, sometimes they don't. But anyway, she can always call in. So, Majestic Raw.
Mhm.
It's been a little bit. We've been gone for a couple of weeks now.
It's been about a month.
I said a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Why you gotta go there with the whole month? I try to make it sound okay. You just made it sound like we abandoned our posts. Like we done jumped over the edge.
I was
Y'all
just
know what
saying it's
happens when
been a
we don't make
while.
it here and we don't get a chance to vent and things like that.
Yeah,
We end up like over the edge.
over the edge.
Right, right, right. Um, my thing is today. I guess I want to call this not over the edge or overly emotional Monday.
Emotional Monday.
Overly
Over overly
over the
emotional
top,
Monday.
just too much, all over the place. Let me fix my shirt.
Over the top Monday.
Over the top. It's like, oh, I'm talking about like it's over the top, but it's like overly emotional. It's like I feel like people were just so emotional. I'm fighting almost every day to not try to have someone attach their emotions onto me because I can tell when I'm upset about something because I spend a lot of time trying to not be.
Oh yeah. So you
But
said people been uh really emotional this month or like a couple of days or
I just think people are blaming it on the election and saying it's because of the election didn't go the way everybody wanted it to go. But here in Maryland, I guess I can see how they could be upset about, you know, because most of the people did, vote for the person that didn't get elected.
about to say what they upset about.
I don't know. I'm not upset about anything, but I'm just saying that I feel a lot of people's emotions about a lot of things that they're upset with. It could be upset about this time of year, not having money, not being the way they want to be, not being where this year,
Yeah,
where their projections were at the end of the year. Um,
I heard some people get sad around this time of year because they don't
Family,
have their loved ones here to, celebrate the holidays with and
that's
stuff.
true. Yeah. But I think, I mean, I'm not knocking anybody being upset about their loved ones not being here, but their loved ones wasn't here in January. I mean, in June. They weren't here in July. They weren't here before the holidays, But I guess people get sentimental because that's the time that everybody gets together,
Yeah, yeah.
But I believe, like, I have a lot of loved ones that passed away, and I just try to spend a lot of time with them during the whole year so I won't have that isolated memory of just the holidays. I'm not trying to be smart or
You
nothing
said
like that,
isolated
but I'm just
memory.
saying I just could only imagine. Now, some people don't have any other choice because they're out of town,
Yeah.
but I just can't imagine not being around like a mom or a dad, and then for years and years and years, and then something they pass on, and I never got a chance to spend time with them.
Mhm.
That's something that will make me really 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 be emotional. And then there's good emotions, where you just you got happy memories.
Yeah, yeah.
You spend some time with, you got happy memories. Everything is not always sad, but
I
my whole
guess
thing is when it turns into anger. Go ahead.
the getting together like with people that you are happy to see in your family or and the gift giving and all that stuff, the food. Sometimes that'll cheer people up, and
Yeah,
they won't be too emotional
that's
about.
why a lot of people avoid it. They like, where you going? I'm not going over there. I'm not gonna be doing this. But I do send out prayers for everyone who have lost someone just recently, or even if it was years and years ago, and they're going through some things that that can cause them to be real emotional. But just don't take it out on somebody else, because
Yeah.
it's like, especially if it's somebody that passed away and you're taking it out on a living.
Yeah.
And then if something happened to that person that's living, now you starting the whole process up all over again. Now you're upset because another person that passed away, but you treated them like crap, and now this person passed away. Now you start the process. Now you're mad again, or you're upset, or you're trying to grieve, going through the grieving process. Treat everybody like you got some sense. You know what I mean? And then maybe it won't be as painful. But I don't know.
They gotta, yeah. Some people just gotta learn how to be in better control of their emotions. You know,
Yep, and that's all.
some
That's
people
one of.
might need help after they lose a loved one like that.
That's true. That
And
is absolutely true.
to help them cope and move forward in life. Some people, it takes them so long to bounce back.
That's
You
true. But don't use me as your coping mechanism. Don't beat
Yeah,
up
don't use you
on
as
me as a way to cope with your situation. Don't beat up on he, she, him, her, any of them. Just don't beat up on each other just because you're trying to cope with a grieving process. Know where you are in your grieving process.
yeah.
And when you get to that area where it's anger, try not to transfer that on to someone else, because like I was telling you earlier about just so you guys know, I'm waiting for T. I don't know what T is, but just so you guys know that the topic today is can you trust your emotions? You know, and even further, can you trust your thoughts to the point where you're reacting to your emotions, right? So
Yes.
I had an example, and I'm sure you have one, Majestic Raw, you could tell me. But I had an example, and if anybody got an example of trusting your emotions, can you trust your emotions, or someone else, when their emotions was just off, and there's nothing you could tell them to let them know that their emotions was off and it wasn't true. Because I heard this one gentleman says, "Oh, okay, trust trust your emotions." Ew. Okay, maybe I can trust if my thoughts is right. But anyway, I had an example. I'm gonna tell you my example, Mr. Majestic Raw, and you start working on yours. Think about it, right? But here's was
It got
my
to be about
example.
me, or
Your example of a person, either you trusting your emotions, or a person that there's no way they could possibly trust their emotions because they was wrong or always wrong, right? I had a young lady. She came to me and she said, "You mad at me, and I want to just rectify it before it gets too far because you're upset with me, and I just want to know why." And I wasn't. I wasn't even thinking about this situation. Like, I wasn't thinking about being angry. I spend more time thinking about trying to be happy, and everybody else is trying to make me mad and angry. It's always them. It's always them. I'm telling you the truth. I spend a lot of time trying to be happy, and everybody else is spending a lot of time trying to make me not happy. That's how I feel about it. And hey, maybe that's why we're on the edge, because that doesn't necessarily mean that that emotion or that feeling or that thought is true. Follow me? But that's how I believe things to be, but it may not be true. That's an example, but this is
right.
what the person said. So I said, "No, I'm not upset with you." And they didn't believe me. So they said, "Yes, you are. God told me," or something similar to, this intervention, this epiphany, this idea that was implanted into the person's brain. The thought was real to them. So they thought I was really upset with them, but I was not upset with them in no kind of way. I wasn't even thinking about that person in that way until they kept saying it. So I felt like Martin when Martin
They
was in
kept saying it.
therapy, and the lady kept saying, "You're angry." And he says, "I am not angry." And he was like, she was like, "Yes, you are." He said, "I am not angry. I'm only angry because you keep telling me I'm angry."
Oh,
Right? But I didn't get mad. I just felt like, the person really did trust the thought that they had, and really believe, as Coyote say, they had a party in their head nobody wasn't invited to.
exactly. That's what it was. exactly what it sound like.
Like I'm like, I don't know why I was mad. I would be mad at that person. Now they may know
Yeah.
because who knows what they were doing or talking about or saying or anything that I should have been mad about. But it never reached me, not emotionally, not spiritually, not in any. Only how it reached me is because you brought it to me. Now I got to deal with all of that foolishness and dispel it. And at that time, like I said, I felt like Martin in the angry man in the anger management class with the woosah. Um, why are you pushing your emotions onto me? Maybe I should be mad at you, but I'm not. So walk on, deal with your emotions, and please don't try to transfer it onto me because I'm not upset with you. So
That's
at
something
that
personal
point,
they must be dealing with. It.
what you say?
For them to transfer their emotions onto you like that, it must be something they're dealing with some that they're dealing with personally,
I
and they
think
need
it
somebody to take
was.
it out on or something.
It was. They felt as though they needed to save me from a situation, and maybe they thought they talked to me about it, but they may have been talking to themselves about it in their mind. They never spoke to me about that information that they was trying to save me from. I wasn't angry about anything. And even if they were trying to save me from a situation, I still wasn't angry about it. I just don't get mad at people for no reason. And if they gotta really give me a really good reason to be upset with you, because I'm spending 99% of my time trying to not be upset. I lie to you not. Even though people say I'm angry.
Sound like they needed to work on expressing themselves better too. You
Okay.
know,
That I don't know what's wrong with them. I'm not even gonna get into their business like that. But I think they did express themselves. They just need to deal with their own
I mean,
thoughts.
or they didn't know how to express themselves in the correct manner.
What by yeah
Rather, I
by
say,
bringing it to me in that way because they.
yeah, yeah.
So that brings us to another situation. So that's almost like a reactive situation. It's like you are upset and now you're trying to get a reaction out of me, right? So I'm saying, in your case, do you have? I know you don't have anything, Majestic Rob, but try to pull it out of the back of the cap of your head back there.
I mean, I've been in a relationship, something like that. What you
Okay.
were saying, um, like every day I would like this relationship I was in. Like every day I would go to work, and when I would get home,
Mm-hmm.
she would say, "Oh, this girl came by here. She said y'all talk to each other, meaning that we was trying to get with each other, get to know each other, and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that." And the first time she told me, I didn't really take it seriously, but this kept happening, and I'm like, because I will always respond like, I'm not sure. I know, who you're talking about. Because I'm not talking to anybody. I go to work and come home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have time, and I was basically, so she thought I was cheating, and I was not cheating, and she would get emotional about that a lot. Like it, it had got to the point where she said she fought a girl and she ripped the girl earring. She said, but I come home and I have no clue of who she talking about. And this used to make her so angry. I said, "Well, how come I never see this person that you're talking about?" Well, she was always saying, "Yeah, she
Wow.
yeah." It, it
I'm
it
glad.
was wild. It was wild.
I'm
I
glad
didn't know
I don't
what
do
to
that.
make of it.
I'm glad I don't have them type of things going on my head. If I have any problems with something, I'm gonna ask you straight up. You tell me the truth, tell me the lie. That's it. I'm done. After that, I'm not gonna entertain a whole lot of that in my head. But let's just put that on the situation where, let's say, do you, can you trust your emotions? So can you trust her emotions based on what you know?
I couldn't. No, I couldn't
Could you
trust.
trust her thoughts?
No, I couldn't trust her thoughts.
What do you think
Not
is
at
going
that time.
on?
Not at that. I would say not at that time
Right.
because you you said what now?
I said, right. So she was trying to get a reaction out of you by telling you what she thought that was going on in her head. Now there are times I think things and I will ask the question, but it doesn't mean I actually believe it. Meaning it's a thought.
Yeah.
Now there's a difference between having a thought and believing the thought, right?
Yeah.
So you can tell if the person actually believes that thought because of the emotion that's attached to it. So if I say, Majestic Raw, um, you just pulled up in a car with a woman. Who's that woman? Right?
Yeah.
And you like, oh, that's a coworker. She just dropped me off. I'll say, oh, okay. No real emotion, right? That's dealing with that. That's just me asking a question. But if you come back with the emotion, why are you asking that? And what do you think is going on? And blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh no, it was just a thought, but I didn't attach emotion to it. I'm just asking a question so that I don't attach emotion to it.
Yeah.
But if I'm just saying, now I get a thought and I'm saying, oh, so you messing with her now too. Now I done created, I had the thought that you possibly may be messing with her. I spoke it and I accused you and I gave you the emotion.
With no evidence.
No evidence. So at this point, I'm trusting my thought pattern, or I'm not even worrying about trusting it or not. I'm just assuming and going forward with it. So all I'm saying is the first thought, if you actually listen to what I said, could you trust my thought pattern?
It depends on
The way
what
that I
you've
presented the
shown me.
first one, can you trust my thought pattern? The way I could address the second one, can you trust my
The
thought
first one
pattern?
I could.
Mm-hmm.
I could say I trust that. But second time, no. If you come with, like you said, with all those kind of emotions with it, when I'm just trying to tell you it was just a coworker and that was
Right.
it, and you made it more than what it is, that makes me think like, well, I can't trust that with her because she could take that further.
Well, okay, so let's walk it through. All right, so the first go around,
Uh-huh.
I said, um, the young lady, the person that dropped you off, who was that person? And you said that's a coworker. I said, okay. And if say I took it further, is it something going on with you guys? And you say no. I say, okay. Right? Now suppose you got offended by the questioning, you know, because in your mind or your thought pattern, you believe that I believe that something's going on, even though I said okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I didn't have any emotion attached to it, you know. So all I'm saying is at the end of the day, it's the thought pattern. Can you trust the thought pattern? Now, technically, if I was dropped off by a brother, right, that I worked with, okay, and you see me sitting in the front seat, you see me giving him a hug after the fact, not a kiss, just a hug, but it's still, and I'm just taking it to another level, but it's still affection, right?
Right.
So I give the person a hug, you see it, I know you see it because you at the door, right? So you you ask the question, you're like, okay, who's that gentleman? Do you have a right to want to know who that person is,
Yeah, I sure
right?
do.
So why would you get upset if I should have the same rights? I should want to know who the person is that dropped you off, or you were in the car, or you dropped off, or whatever the case may be. Now, there's no accusing, there's just a question, right?
Right.
Why would I want to know that? And why would you want to know?
Wow. Well, we all have a certain degree of curiosity, and we want to know what's going on, especially with the one that you're in a relationship with. We want to know what's going on. But like
Well, why do you feel as though you need to know what's going on? And make sure you talking to Mike. Why do you feel like you need to know what's going on? What's going on? You're
Um,
assuming something's going on.
I mean, because I mean, you in a relationship with somebody. I mean, you want to know what's going on. If you see them carrying on with the opposite sex,
You
you know, and
said carrying on.
yeah, it could be hugging or it. I'm
Why?
just saying, sometimes it may not look right, but like it could be uh, a
Okay.
innocent hug, or it could be a little too much along with that hug. So that's when you really should ask, okay, what's up with that? What's going on with that?
Well,
Or
I
who is
agree.
that you gave that funny hug to?
I agree, and I don't think it's a jealousy thing. I don't think you're over the top with the thought pattern. You're just curious. You do need to know. I believe that if you too lax and you're not asking the right questions, that's giving a person, and I could be wrong, giving a person a pass to go further. I'm just saying that's just me, because they're like, oh, okay, I got an inch, I'm gonna take a mile. Like,
Yeah,
he don't care, she don't care. She's not really pressed about it.
that
She ain't
can't
looking
happen.
at me. He ain't looking at me. He ain't looking at me like that. So I'm gonna go for it. I have a saying. My saying is, I don't have a problem with that's not the saying. I'm gonna give you the saying in a minute. I'm gonna give you the back history of the saying. I don't have a problem with a person that is supposed to be my significant other asking questions, right? I will tell you, if you don't ask questions, as a female, I will look at it as if you are falling asleep at the wheel. You're in the driver's seat and
Yeah,
you not paying attention to what's going on around you, and you done fell asleep, and while you sleeping, somebody's creeping.
yeah, yeah.
Because, not saying they creeping on purpose, I'm saying somebody else can ease in. It's like you giving that other person the liberty to ease in because they don't see your presence. They don't see the man's presence. They don't see the woman's presence. They don't see the covering. They don't sense the covering. All they sense is, oh, I got a liberty to
The
go a
door is
little
too wide
further.
open.
Next time, he watching us hug. Next time, I'm gonna give her a little kiss on the cheek. Shucks, I'm gonna move it to the next level. It may not be the person that's your significant other that's moving it to the next level. It could be the other person that's in their atmosphere. Why are they there? Like with Martin, y'all. I'm on my Martin today. With Martin, why is he there, Gina? Why is he there singing? The closer I get to you, the more
Martin was
you make
extreme with
me
that.
feel.
Yeah.
What you say?
Now I was just saying, talking about Martin. Martin was extreme with that.
He
Uh,
had he was emotional. They both was the most emotional couple I've ever seen in my entire life. They were reactive, they was emotional. You could not trust their thoughts because they always was thinking something that was wrong.
yeah.
At the end of the episode, they always apologizing because somebody was thinking something that was wrong every time. They were the perfect example of not trusting their thought process and not having any type of sense or
I think they
wisdom
was
at
only
all.
showing that's how black people are,
Would you
basically.
say
I think they was just only showing that that's how black people are. Some black people are like
we
that.
we emotional people, but I'm saying trust the emotional side I don't have a problem with. It should, like the gentleman said in that slide I played earlier, it's the thought behind it. It's like, what are you thinking? Because that's where the emotion comes from, where you thinking. And I'm talking about what we were talking about, when people just have a thought and they get emotional. Now, reactive, being, reacting to something that is presented to them in an emotion is something totally different.
That's what I was about to say
Go
next.
ahead.
Yeah, is you you can you can you can like not trust people's thoughts just about all the time because some people just have big trust issues. Period. Right. But like you said, it's how you react to that though.
That's true.
Like I mean, it's like you don't have to react off in those thoughts that you have in your head about that person. You don't have to. Meaning you don't have to act on that unless they
That's
are
true.
really showing that to you. You can think that,
But you
but
don't have to show the emotional side of it, you
yeah,
know, and
exactly. You don't
especially
have to.
until you get clarity, because clarity is important. You know, if you don't get clarity, you didn't speak to the person, you could have that whole situation totally wrong. And like I said, that Martin, if you watch every episode, these jokers was always starting off good and ended up bad and then apologizing at the end.
Yeah,
And that like I said, it was
they
really
was
funny.
sensitive. Yeah,
But I did like though was the what I like about the whole writing of it, even though it could set us back, it set us back. But what I did like about the writing of it is that they did apologize at the end.
yeah,
But you would think in this drama, you would think that they would learn something. So the problem is like learning.
hmm,
It's like you can't never trust a person your own thoughts if you're not trying to go to the next level and learn from your mistakes.
yeah,
So you can't be like so if, say for instance I when I was younger I if a person, oh, this is a perfect example. When I was younger, um, unless the person showed me, gave me this secure feeling, um, and I was dating them, if I called them and they didn't answer the phone, it's like I would have all these anxiety and thoughts, you know what I'm saying, going on, right? And sometimes they were good, sometimes they were real, sometimes they weren't,
yeah.
right? and and it was like, unfortunately, uh the 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 correct ones blended in with the bad ones, so I couldn't tell the difference. So by me not being able to tell the difference, I had to go out my way to find out what was true. So say for instance, I'm calling a person, they ain't answer the phone, they said they was gonna call me back, they ain't call me back, knocking on the door, get in there, they sleep.
Get in there and what?
They're asleep. They're
Oh
just
wow.
sleeping. It's not. They're not doing anything. They're not with no another woman. They're not out with their boys. They're not drunk. They're not high. They're not doing anything. They're just asleep.
So
They
your
didn't
thoughts
pick up
was
the phone because they was
so your
asleep.
thoughts was
People
wrong.
gotta go to sleep, you know. And then I'm like, okay. And like I said, I was younger, and I felt if I was insecure, but that's one thing. Insecurity could have your thought pattern completely off. So you have to be like in your mind, um, so you won't be on the edge and about to jump off. No, not literally jump off, because we got pillows and all kinds of stuff on the end of our edge. But I'm just saying, in order for me to like not worry about it, I had to, you know what I mean, just take a person's word for it. If they say, you know, whatever, they was whatever. If they was with somebody else, then they was just with somebody else. Woohoo. What you gonna do about it? What can you do about it? You know, all these anxieties all up in your chest. I don't want to fight no more, Gina. You know, I'm like, listen, you don't answer that daggone phone, it's gonna be a problem. And nowadays, you know what I'm saying? If you call somebody and they was on the other line, remember back in the day you could hear the button go doop doop. You could tell they on the phone.
Oh
They
yeah,
just ain't picking it up for you.
yeah,
Oh my anxieties, right? Now the thought patterns going up. Blah
yeah.
blah
They
blah
can make
blah.
up something. Oh, it was an emergency. I'm talking to my mom or anything.
No, they'd be like, I didn't see your call. Yes, you did. I heard it go boop boop. That means you was on the other line. Why you ain't click over?
Yeah,
Just tell the
that's a lie.
truth.
Then
Tell
if
the
they say that.
truth. And then you don't gotta worry about all these extra thoughts coming in my head. Just tell the truth. Listen, I was on the other line. You right. Blah 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 blah. You know, I was asleep. And then if all the times those questionings they get the right answer, you don't have to worry about having to deal with an insecure person. Um, Cause you done knocked all the insecurities out. Like, listen, I was talking to my homegirl. I was talking to this person. I just be honest. Then you ain't got to worry about it. Now, if they have anxieties or I have anxieties after that, that's on me. I just want to be stressed out, like, yo. But that's just my example of my reactive side of it. If I'm overly I'm insecure, I learned that the more it's almost like stalking. You follow me? I know because I know you had somebody that you spoke to before, and you kept calling them, and things like that. It's almost like a stalking type feel, like you tracking them down, all that stuff, and just want to see. But if you look at it at the end of the day, it's all about honesty, about a person being honest with you, and you
and
just
you don't want to keep taking yourself through that. Like you don't want to always thinking like, what are they doing? When you're not around them, like it's too much.
it is.
It's too much to worry about. Like
I hear
you
people say
don't
this.
want to
I
keep
know
worrying
I
about
hear
it.
people say this all the time, and I know I think even Coyote said something like this before. Be like, man, I don't got time for all that.
Yeah.
Listen, if you spending all that time worrying about somebody like that, you ain't doing what you supposed to do.
I
So
mean, because a
what?
lot of times they are already giving you the signs. Like they don't want to talk to you. Or
That could be true, and then they could be just working.
they could,
They could be doing productive
they could be
things,
doing
and your
anything, but
goofy
if they
tail is
keep
doing
doing that,
all unproductive things. Find something to do.
yeah, they could be
Get a
doing anything.
hobby.
But if they keep doing that, they they letting you know that, hey, I don't want to talk to you, or something is not right about that. If you constantly calling them and they not responding, and they might respond every blue moon like, oh, I was busy. They give you a response like that. Like something up. Like, yeah,
Yeah, I think I don't know if people go through that anymore because still go through that now because people have so many
some people do
partners
go
now.
through that.
I'm
And
just saying I don't know
they
because I'm
can't make
old.
out like what's really going on, and they will take themselves through that for a minute. I wouldn't say not for long, but for a minute they might go through that just to see what's really going on with that person.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Well,
Sometimes we can get fooled. We don't know. Sometimes, like,
and that's going back to that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, um, when it comes to our emotions, when it comes to the anger, and the jealousy and the anxieties, and being able to trust a person, um, it does start with yourself. We are, as if T was here, that's a you problem, she would say.
yeah, you probably,
I know she's saying it right now. That's a you problem. That
yeah,
you, you get it together, man.
yeah,
It is you gotta be secure within yourself, and then you need to keep yourself busy. It's like when you spending uh just count up the time. Like if you spending hours and hours worrying about where somebody's at and where they at, and they not checking in with you, like you said, they not, you know what I'm saying? Not to say anything negative about someone else, you know what I mean? Because this is about you. So occupy your time the way that you're supposed to be occupying your time, and then when each other chime in, you guys are catching up on with each other and not chasing
yeah,
somebody that's supposed to be already yours. How you chasing somebody that's already yours, that's already in you it says on your team, they already in your life, and you trying to figure out what they're doing all day long. You need to figure out what you're doing all day long, and by
yeah.
the
Right.
time y'all turn
Yeah,
around,
yeah,
y'all catching up with each other. And I'm just saying, that's just how I feel. By the time y'all start catching up with each other, you catching up,
yeah.
not chasing. Like y'all already caught. How you chasing the
Yeah,
people you
nobody should
already
be.
that's already caught? Like,
They shouldn't be chasing each other at that point.
no, you just catch up
Like
with
you
each
said, they
other.
already together. So like, what's the point? But
Yeah. So, like you said,
one
I
must be
understand
bored.
it.
One must be bored. They doing that all day.
That's why I said find something to do.
Find something to do.
Cause you're obsessed. You want some obsessed stuff. I don't go through none of that. You know what I'm saying? Just so everybody know, I haven't been through nothing like that in so long. I mean, maybe when I was in my 30s, but I learned. to occupy my time. I have my own business. Run your businesses. Do what you gotta do. But if you don't have nothing to do all day, then of course you're gonna be where you at, where you been, blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Oh, that's a lie. I saw you this and that. Well, if you saw me, why you ask? Why are you asking me? You said you saw me. Why are you asking me where I'm at? You just trying to catch me up in some stupid reactive emotional bull crap. You saw me. Oh, I saw you early today. How did it go? You know, I saw you hanging out with some friends. You have a good time. But no, I saw you and you wasn't with me. I wasn't with you. That's ew. I don't like you no more. Bye.
Yeah, they don't have nothing. They don't have nothing else to do but follow your business. You know, follow
Yeah,
what you doing.
I got
They
you.
don't have they don't have their own business to tend to. If
That's
they
all I'm
doing all that,
saying. Just find something to do so you don't have to be doing that. And that's something that will help a lot. Go to school, do anything to improve yourself to keep you from having to feel obsessed and mess up your own thought pattern to
yeah,
the point where you can't even trust your own thoughts.
yeah,
That's an example of that, not being able to trust your own thoughts. And then also just listening to everybody's advice and listening to everybody's ideas of religion, different ideas of politics, different, and not having your own idea of anything could have you like these people are right now. I don't know who they are, just all stressed out about what's going to happen in 2025. And
yeah.
then you got people just leaning on God and saying, listen, God knows what's going to happen. I mean, it almost reminds me of 1999 when we were all uh, to, at the church New Year's Eve and waiting for 2000 to hit and all the electricity to cut off. They had us so stressed out. The world is going to end. The
I said
world is going
it's
to end. Remember?
yeah. I
That's
remember
how they
that. Yeah.
acting right now with this whole election
Some people
and
thought it was the end of
everything.
the world for real though.
Well, I don't know when it come. I'm assuming we probably won't even know. We be just dead.
Wow, that's crazy. Like I
Hey,
said, it's
that's
it's
just
it's
a
not
thought.
about what the president
It's
or
just a
whomever.
thought.
It's not about what they gonna do. Like what you gonna do. Like
Gotcha.
to prepare.
Gotcha.
Okay, if you think that this and that is gonna happen, what you gonna do to prepare for that? Then are you gonna
Um,
depend on the president? You gonna wait on the president or whatever? You
listen.
you prepared for you and your family in case something goes down or whatever. But there's no need to panic. You know.
I already know that I do a lot of joking and stuff, right? And I'm like gonna wrap us up so you can get out of here because they trying to lock you in. But I just want to say, think about what's your closing statement going to be, Majestic Raw. But my opinion is just my opinion at this point. This we going into 2025. This is one of the last shows. I might do a couple of pop-ins. I may not.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to wish everybody happy holidays, happy New Year, and I think that we should do a lot of praying. And when it comes to our emotions, I think we need to start dealing with our thoughts a little bit more because this is what's causing some of our anxieties and our emotions is because of we some people just overthink a lot and some stuff that we're thinking is true and has wisdom with it and may even came from God, and then there's some stuff that came straight from the devil and you can't tell the difference. So you're so emotional and it's transferring on to other people. And I'm saying, don't
They can't tell the
transfer that
difference.
stuff to me.
If they can't tell the difference, they really need to get help with that.
They need prayer. I'm telling you, sometimes we can't tell the difference. We could be so bogged down on things, and then we have to pray about it. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. In the morning time, you got clarity. You don't know what you're dealing with during the course of the day, and all kinds of stuff can make you believe certain things that are not true. And then there's some things that are true for a second and no longer true for the next second. You know,
Yeah.
like I could be mad at you right now, and 2 minutes later, I'm no longer mad at you. So that's how emotions is. Or I can be mad at you and stay mad at you and never forgive you. But at the end of the day, it's like it could be this way, it could be that way.
Yeah,
Uh,
especially if the person explained themselves to you after you was already angry or whatever. Yeah, like you said, you may not be angry with them no more because they might have had a good uh a,
could have been a misunderstanding.
yeah,
Could have
they
been
might
just
have
a
had a good reason
misunderstanding.
of why they did what they did.
Yeah, because sometimes people don't weigh the pros and cons when they do things, and sometimes they do, and it just doesn't work out all the time. We are human, we make mistakes,
Yeah.
and we just have to be careful on how we react to these mistakes and how we transfer the energy onto other people that don't even have no idea what's going on with you. And all of a sudden, now there's people I thank God for that I can talk to and call up any time of the day and give them information about my emotions, and they don't it doesn't transfer onto them, you know but they're there just so it doesn't transfer onto them. They are there so that I don't transfer it onto somebody else. So they allow me to vent. And then after a while, if it gets too much, wait a minute now, shut it up. You gotta have somebody be
That's
able to tell you
there's
shut
a time
up.
and a place for
And
that.
you gotta be able to trust them to be like, you right, I need to shut up. Okay. She's doing too much.
That I mean, it's a time and a place for that. I mean, that like when you said they just venting or whatever, like they want to go seek help, like counseling or whatever, or they need a therapist. Maybe they need to get that out that way. So then the therapist or whomever can help them get to the solution.
Yes. Could you imagine me at a therapist if you actually really knew my thoughts?
they would they would have to have a lot of patience with
They
you,
will
right?
be like, we're gonna subscribe or prescribe. We're gonna prescribe this medication for you, Sanji. We think that you are too angry about this and that. This should help you out. Listen, all I needed you to do was listen to me, tell me to calm down, and I would have been good. But I don't need your prescription. Thank you very much. This is another reason why. So,
I think some of them are so quick to give you prescriptions. I don't know about the prescription stuff. I
yes,
always
they
been curious
are.
about that
They
part.
are. I'm telling you, they are.
I
You
always
gotta
been
tell. You
curious
gotta
about
go right in there and say, "Listen, don't give me no medication. Just hear me out." And then, you know, give me some breathing exercises, give me some other things that I can do besides this medicine,
it.
because
Yeah.
I don't want to be numb. I want to be able to feel my emotions, and I just need you to help me sort through them and make sense of why I'm so mad. And I'll say stuff like, should I be
Because they'll
mad
give you a
about this?"
prescription to suppress it, to suppress how you really feel.
That's what I don't want to happen. That's the
Yeah,
reason. So
exactly.
so I'd
Right.
rather talk to you. I'd rather talk to T. I'd rather talk to my significant other. I talk to my friends and be like, let me ask you this. I bought a pair of white tennis shoes and somebody stepped on my shoes and said, forget your couch. Should I be mad? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Or I'll be like, listen, I dropped $1 and I walked down the hall and I saw this guy pick it up. Should I be mad? Should I be mad?
Yeah. If he saw you drop
If he see me drop it, but I don't know if he saw me drop it or not. I just
it,
turned
okay.
around and see this man picking up my dollar. Should I be mad? I dropped it.
Nah, you could ask him. I mean, you could just tell him, look, I dropped that dollar.
Like, I ain't see you drop it.
And when he say that,
It's my loss. I gotta accept the loss.
yeah, yeah.
You know what
I'm
I
about to
mean?
say, just let him keep that dollar then.
Yeah, I gotta accept the loss, but I can't be running around mad because I dropped $1. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So,
right.
so don't give me no medication. I don't
Yeah.
need that. I just need you to just make sense of my thoughts if they're
Yeah,
off.
everything don't have to be that complicated.
Right. I just need you to make sense of my thoughts. So
Yeah,
sometimes our thoughts are off.
yeah,
And sometimes we just need people that we trust that can honestly tell you and tell us, hey, you're a little off a little bit, and you not get offended. Now, if that person is not anywhere around, that they're going to be reactive to everything that you say as far as your thoughts are, that's only going to make it worse. It's just only going to make you more emotional. But if you got somebody that you can talk to and say, listen, does this make sense? I'm not talking about a yes man. I'm talking about the no man or the no woman, the one that tell you, no, you are wrong, no, you are off, and you respect them enough and respect them telling that you off without reacting in an emotional state because you already emotional. You need to be able to de-escalate.
yeah. Somebody that's gonna tell you the truth.
Right, because the therapist is going to tell you the truth and give you a medication. I don't need a medication. I don't need a medication. I don't need them. I don't need I don't need them. I just need you to act as my
Yeah, with that
medication.
medication, you might feel worse. Yeah,
Well, I'm just saying they got a lot of side effects. If you could give me something that is natural, and I'm talking about without all the chemicals and it's not overdosing, because everything you give, they give is always more than what it's supposed to be, and it's supposed to keep me from jumping over this fake edge that I done made for myself, on the edge with Sanji. Y'all got it? Okay. But um emotionally, it's like you can become numb, so you need somebody to be able to tell you numb. Like your emotions is not there at all. And then you got to be able to have somebody there to tell you that your emotions are over the top, and you got to be able to trust that person. And so don't have that person in your life if you can't trust them with your emotions. So emotions make you cry. No, I just. But
it'll
anyway,
make
y'all
you
know I
do
had to
some
be
wild
silly.
things. Emotions will make you do some wild things.
Right. And so I know that there are books and things like that to tell you that you have to rise above your emotions. There's study guides and things like that. And there's also people who wrote books that tell you that you have to be able to rise above your emotions. But at the end of the day, if it's not balanced out, meaning that you're numb, that's not rising above it. That's you just don't have none at all. You might as well be a robot, right?
Yeah,
But if you are at the process where your thoughts, you can trust your thoughts, you know what I mean? Your emotions will be balanced out a little bit. But if you're at the point where your thoughts are all over the place and you can't tell what's real and what's not real, as far as your thoughts, like, okay, um, I don't know if you got an example what's real and what's not real. What's your example of what's real and not real? Crickets was not real is you not saying nothing.
I was just no. I was thinking about what you were saying. Like,
What's your example? What's real and what's not real in a thought pattern? You know, um, the sky right now is is a light blue. Here where we are now, not in no another country, not in no another time. That's not real. The sky is black right now, and it's really dark blue from where we stand. That's not real. Um, I'm thinking it's real because that's what I wanted to be, but it ain't. You know, so only person that can be able to help you with that is people that you trust. That ain't gonna put you on medicine. But anyway.
but yeah, um,
Oh, go ahead. I'm gonna let you do your
you
closing. Go
specifically
ahead.
have to have that person that you know that can trust you and you can trust them. Because if you don't have that trust, then it's like, what can you go to them for and ask them, like, and look for them to tell you the truth if you can't
Well,
trust
you
them.
you can make code words and things like that. I got a code word. Shout out to my homeboy Alabama. Our code word is focus. I ain't gonna give you the second word. I'm just gonna give you the focus.
Okay.
And focus just means, are you working and you're not letting everything that's going on around you stop you from doing the things that you love, stop you from doing the things that, um, um, being productive, completing your tasks, things like that. And if it is something, stop right now. That's our word. We got two words. I only gave you the first word because I don't want y'all to know all of our business. But
Okay. Word is stop.
huh?
So the word was stop.
No, the word is one of the words is focus, but there is a second word, and it just means to. Are you focused on whatever task that you're doing? Or are you all over the place and you're not completing the things that you want to complete during the course of that day? Because you got to take things day by day, right? And it might be just that hour. Are you allowing uh, a relationship argument or a relationship with your children argument or hard times get you to the point where you don't know who you are? Focus. Like,
Nothing should get you to that point where you don't know who you are.
well, don't not. You're right. I'm just saying, like sometimes you can be like you're a man, right? A woman, she could be a business person. She could be a mom. She could be a teacher. She could be all these different things, but she can't be all these different things at the same time.
Right.
She can only be these things one at a time. So if she's being a mom at that time, she's being a mom. She's doing mom stuff. Okay, now it's time for you to focus and shift to your business and do your business stuff. Okay, but if you're so bogged down on what you're doing on the mom side, you could forget, oh shoot, I had to get over here and do this podcast show, or I gotta get over here and make this thing, or I gotta do this slideshow, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, or whatever the case may be. So you have to focus on what you're doing at that time and go to the next thing. So if you got a checklist of 10 things that you got to do and you're not focused, you're only going to do that one and be stuck on that one, especially if it is an emotional thing that you're going through, if that makes sense.
You say if it's an
But that's
emotional
just a
thing that you.
K, yeah, because like I'm a woman, right? So I deal with a lot of different things, and a lot of different things that happen can be emotional, right? But when you get to that point, you can get frozen, like just stuck. And I'm only speaking about myself, stuck. And so you'll realize you could be on your phone, and I'm talking about just scrolling, and look up 2 hours later, 2 hours done passed, and you had some things that you had to do that didn't get done, right? So then you got friends that hit you up, and some might say, "Hey, that might be their code word." Some might say, "Focus." Some might say, "Where you at? What you doing?" They know where that person is and what they doing. They just checking in,
Yeah.
to try to help. You know what I mean? To see what they could do to kind of like snap you out or just check on you. You know what I mean? So, like, I know one time I told my daughter, I said, I'm gonna get older and I might get out of control when I be like 70 or something. I said, so I might be like cantankerous and I might be weird, like I don't know. I said, you gonna be taking care of me.
You don't have to be that way.
This my youngest. I'm saying if by chance I like to plan ahead.
Yeah.
So if by chance I get that way, I want you to have a code word to snap me out of it. I want to learn this now so that my brain would be like, I don't know what my brain gonna be like when I'm 70, but I'm preparing.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know. You might be
So
sharper than what you think.
I'm not saying that I'm not gonna be sharper, and I can appreciate the thought. but
I'm just saying, you
but
know how it was when we was younger.
I
We
just
used to
don't
think the
know if
same
I'm gonna
way.
be mean or not. That's what I'm saying. When I was younger, I was mean. So I don't know if I'm gonna be mean or not. So I put all these things in place so that I don't be mean. So I remember all this stuff. Is people could have a stroke, they could, have different things that happen as they get older and their mind goes a little bit. And I said, I want to make sure, I don't know if this is going to happen to be true or not. I just know that I want to make sure that I can, she got a code word for me to make me snap out, right? That was my thing. You know, people hypnotize people all the time. It could be true, you know. But anyway, I had the code word, and I thought about it when my mom had a stroke a long time ago. Rest in paradise, mama. And when she spoke to me, I said, Ma, how are you? She said, I'm fine. I said, Ma, who's the president? She said, Jimmy Carter. I bust out crying. I'm like, Mommy, this is no. I don't remember who the president was at the time. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie. But I knew it wasn't no daggone Jimmy Carter. So in my mind, I'm like, hey, so if my mind go back that far, let me start training it in case I do get a stroke or something. Way, way back, different things that I could remember
it's always
if
good to
my
be
child
ahead.
said something. You know what I mean? And that's I
It's
don't
good to
know if
be
it
ahead
works or
like that.
not. Huh?
It's good to be ahead like that.
I
Some
don't know if
people
it
might
works or
say
not.
that might be something to run in the family or
I don't
something,
know if it works or
and
not.
you
I
take it
just
as, oh, it might happen to me, so I'm gonna be
yeah.
prepared. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
take
get it.
me all the way back. So just keep saying things all the way back. Like so if I remember if 20 years is gone, you've been saying this for over 30 years. That's what I was thinking. But I don't know. It's just a theory. Something that I thought. I'm always on the edge. Yeah. But all right, you say you're closing because we gonna wrap this up. Go ahead.
I'm just saying sometimes we have our thoughts like that, and like you said, it's good to prepare for stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we got to remember that we are in control of our own minds. We can't let what we see on the outside of us always be that influence. Yeah, we can prepare for it and everything, but we can we can always, be up to par though and say, I'm gonna be and train yourself, not to be that way.
True.
Or because I mean it's a lot of things that come along with that too. Sometimes it can be what you consuming, you
What you
know.
mean eat?
Yeah,
That's
what
true.
you eat, yeah, that can give you Alzheimer's and stuff,
Yep. I
stuff
ain't want
like.
to say the word.
Yeah, I figured that. I
You
figured you didn't
saw
want to
me
say
going
that.
all around it. But she had my mom didn't have Alzheimer's. She had a stroke.
Okay.
So that meant
I
that
mean, I was just using that as for example. I
yeah,
wasn't
you
saying
right.
that's
You
what she
right.
had, but I was just saying like, for example, like.
Yeah, because I've been around people who had strokes, and what I did was, I mean, Alzheimer's. I asked them questions that I knew that they would be able to remember from, and it was ironic, food. It was food. I said, "How do you cook collard greens? And what do you put in your collard greens?" And she told me everything that she put in her collard greens. So she could remember certain things as past a certain year, and God rest her, rest in peace in paradise, Shadow. She remembered anything that had to do with cooking, any skills that she had, she remembered all of that, no matter what, I would just ask her. And she was like, this tastes like my she
Tastes like
said,
what?
this tastes like my soup. I was ask her every day what she put in certain foods to the point where I almost duplicated the food. So people do remember certain things. It's just that you just got to know what to tap into.
Yeah.
Yep. Where you going? Well, we about to wrap it up.
Okay.
So shout out to Coyote Man. Keep coming back through the back thing. Shout out to Talithia. Sorry you couldn't make it, sis. And shout out to hey, what's up, Kevin and Alabama, whoever's watching, and all my friends and family that's watched that may check this slides. This podcast out today. This might be our last one for the year, and we'll see you guys in 2025. We got new things happening and redeveloping our TV channels and everything. So we see you guys next year on Coyote Man TV. All right. And what you got to say? What you got to say, Majestic Raw?
I'm just gonna say, happy holidays, be safe, be careful out there, And Happy New Year's.
Happy
And
New Year. Happy
don't
New
drink
Year.
too much. you
No
know,
alcohol for
stay alert.
me.
All those
I do
great
got
things.
clothes on, guys, because it looked like I don't have no shirt on. But
So
I do have clothes on.
stay alert and all that.
Awesome. Let's do it.
You're listening to On the Edge with Sonji.